Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to this webinar, which is a fortnightly series webinar from our end. So here we'll be talking about how we can transform teamwork, and all companies work in teams, right? So we need to figure out how we can use an add-on to email which will make your teams more productive. That's the core idea behind this webinar as we proceed. So before we start, some guidelines. One is that keep track of your questions and keep asking them in the chat window which you see on your panel. So as they collect, and towards the end of the webinar I'll run through those questions and answer them, right? And the context of this webinar is a productivity based context, right? So we are talking about here how we can make your users and your organization gain more by using a certain combination of tools. So let's get started. So we'll examine why you need to add a companion to email to work better with teams. So it may appear that email is a great tool for working for teams to work together, but we have seen and we have examined it closely within our own organization and across our customers that pure use of email is not a very great tool to improve productivity. So as the webinar suggests, what we will do is we will go through first what are the new capabilities which we have added into the email application which boosts the user's productivity. So let's see. Now what we have done is in the new version of Sky Connect, we have rolled out a completely new app delivery platform which we call Baya 3. Alright, now the capabilities of Baya 3 across 4 or 5 verticals have been enhanced a lot. Okay, so this list here which you see is a list of productivity enhancing features. This is not about security, this is not about reliability. All those things we have already covered in some earlier webinar, but here the focus is going to be on what makes your users perform tasks more efficiently and can do more in less time. So first things, it's a web client here we're talking about. The web client has a modern 3-pane web interface, which means that the user has to do less switching and less windows are open to see and work with email. So you can quickly browse through email, mark them read, delete them, tag them, flag them, and if required can even respond to them on the spot. This interface also includes drag drop and other right click contextual menu hotkeys, which makes the interface appear like a desktop interface and improves the productivity of the user. So learning time is much less. Now the same thing is available on the mobile, which means it is responsive, so the user can switch between devices and get the same look and feel and behavior. Third most important thing is, if you switch to using the web client instead of your desktop and mobile, or in addition to that, there is no configuration required, which means from anywhere at any time I can just log into the browser and work with my email. And we've seen this with our customers that there are some customers we have who use only the web client for their users. They do not use mobile and desktop clients. In which case what happens is the mails are retained on the server, which improves durability. If there is no download happening to the laptop, there is no chance of data loss from the laptop or corruption, because the mails are anyway on the server safe and sound. So if you use a web client interface, you tend to improve durability of the mail on the server. This new Baya has got an advanced search which allows you to search on different parameters and help you locate mail quickly. Some more to the email features. We've introduced threads in this, so you can see collated conversations. And we will also see the problem with this, which is one of the ideas of this webinar as we go along. The calendar and the task interface has a tight integration, which means that I can actually move my email to a task, and that So if I see a mail and I know that this has to be done on a particular day, to keep track of that and to remember it, I will just move it to a task. Many a times we reply to emails with standard responses, for example, approvals or invitations or some kind of standard replies they're given to most kind of mails. Now what we've done is we've added templates to the interface which allow you to, in the compose window, select a template and just simply send. So you don't have to type too much. That's again another productivity boost. Another thing we've done is we've scheduled vacation replies, so you don't forget and you don't miss out on setting up your auto response. The selection mechanism here has been improved. I can say select all unread mail, for example, select all flagged mail. So I don't have to first filter on flagged mail and then select all. So my quick select again is a productivity improving feature. And of course, the rich compose has been improved where I can simply copy paste graphics, tables and more and compose my mail very quickly without having to save an image and then import it. Let's see what we've done in the calendar. The first and foremost thing we've done is we've upgraded the backend server. It's a modern, very up-to-date CalDAV server, okay, which gives you a very beautiful interface for FreeBusy. So when you're checking on the schedule of your colleagues, this interface will be very useful to figure out when they are free and when they are busy. It completely and seamlessly integrates with Thunderbird Outlook 2016 Plus and mobiles. So which means that my events which I add on the web client or Thunderbird or Outlook or a mobile seamlessly sync to the other clients as well. The important thing here is, in case you get an event which needs your attention, for example, I need to either decline or accept it, those events are highlighted in a dotted line to bring your attention to them. So there is no need for you to track email. If you look at the calendar, you will know what to do, right? So that again is a big boost in productivity. We've introduced tasks for the first time in any of our products. We know the value of this, where everybody has some kind of to-do list to track. So you can track them here. These will be remembered, they'll be marked, history will be kept, so you can always go back to them. And the biggest thing in this is the tags. So I can classify my to-do lists into groups pertaining to the type of activity. For example, it could be deployment, so I put a deployment tag on it, or it could be billing, so I can put a billing tag on it. Okay, so this is an important thing we've added. The big integration point here is that I can export an email as a task. Contacts, another first time here is personal DLs, which means I can make my groups. For example, I can make a group of marketing people, sales people, or my 3 top vendors whom I always interact with a similar communication. So my groups help me build distribution lists of my own contacts, and these are personal to me, nobody else can see them. So when I want to compose a mail, I can just simply refer the DL and it will put all the member IDs into the 2 or the CC or the BCC box. Big productivity boost, because you do tend to communicate with groups of people quite often. And another part of this is, as you use email, they are automatically collected into a separate contact list which is used for quick lookup. First time again in one of our in Baya, right? You can get a lot of ready plugins which add capability quickly. So you need not wait for Mithi to generate features or develop features for you. You might find ready plugins which are built for our platform, which you can simply put and get going. Another first is APIs. We've enhanced the APIs which we have available on our system, and now you can use them to extend the functionality of the client. So these features which we have just described are email, calendar and other features of the collaboration suite. So they will boost end user productivity. Okay, please focus on this. We here so far covered that every user in your organization by using Baya 3 can become more productive. This is the premise up to now. Now, what we are saying is using email for team collaboration is counterproductive, and we have discussed a use case here, and we will be coming to that, which will demonstrate that a email tool only for team collaboration can be pretty, can generate a lot of emails back and forth. So let's see how that works. But before that, we know that email is critical to transacting business digitally. It is used for team communication. Please take note of the word. We are saying it is used for team communication, but we are here talking about team collaboration. So whenever there is a requirement to do deep and intensive discussions, back and forth conversations on a topic, then email we feel is not a great tool. So you could use chat. We have chat in our own product which can be used to do this discussion, and I'm sure people will be also defaulting to WhatsApp for such conversations. All right. But what we have decided is that these conversations have to be tracked centrally. If I am talking about a topic and I'm involving a team of 6 people to discuss the same with me, I expect that all the conversation be recorded in one place. That is my expectation, which is what so far we have been doing with email, and we will even show you how that works. All right. So we designed an app called Ideolve for intensive team collaboration. That's the primary objective of the app. So what does it do? It uncomplicates team collaboration, because with email it is complicated. So what happens in Ideolve is everything centers around a note. My topic, for example, I would like to implement LED bulbs in my company to save cost. That's my topic. That's an idea. So I will create a note in which I will put out the idea, put out some facts, put out some discovery which I have done. All right. And then I'll say, okay, now I need some input from the teams who are working on this. So I will share this note with them. Okay. Relevant people only, not everybody. All right. All the people who can contribute to that particular topic will be linked to that note or shared on that note. All right. And what can they do? They will post comments on it. Okay. Now, everything that they say and they repeatedly say, and we repeatedly go back and forth, is all happening at one point in a central note. Now that note is building up the knowledge. The research is happening on that, people are contributing to it, and all the information is collecting at a single point. Now what I will do is I will classify the note. I will say this note links to cost cutting, or this note links to infrastructure, okay, which is basically my broader themes of working. Okay. So if I have everything in one place, I don't have to go looking around to put things together. One of the problems with email, as we will see. So in a day I can do a lot more. So what are we saying? Way back to the productivity gain. So if I do this kind of a discussion on Ideolve, what does it mean? It means my email inbox is less cluttered and easier to manage. We've discussed a lot, and we will continue to do so, on the problems of email mailbox bloat, which is a rampant problem in today's mail systems. People just collect mail, all the mail go into the inbox, and they never really know which ones to delete, because everything is important, right? So we need to look at solutions which can reduce the creation of email to start with, which is where Ideolve kind of fits in. Plus, it's a better way to discuss with the team. So just to recap, so we will go through one use case in depth and see how a combination of email and Ideolve can deliver better outcomes. Now, before I proceed, another reminder that please note your questions and keep on posting them to the question window right away, so that you don't forget them, and we'll have the questions ready when we come to the question answer section. So here's a use case, a very popular use case done in any organization of any size. Okay, what we are saying is a review or a RFC, request for comment, is the most commonly used use case for email today. Let's go through that. So first we'll examine how email is used to review documents. So here's a use case. There are a bunch of team members and one of them is working on a project. They all are working on a project, but one of them receives a scope from a vendor, which this needs to be shared, and this scope needs to be shared with all the team members for their feedback. So what does that member do? He forwards that mail to all the team members. So what happens? They all receive a mail in their inbox, and in the system we have 5 or 6 mails depending on the number of team members. In this case it's 6. So the first response is either some people respond, some don't, or they all reply in the best or worst case, whichever way you want to look at it. And everybody does a reply all because everybody should know what's happening. So at this point itself we have 10 plus email in the system pertaining to this topic across the 6 mailboxes. And then they continue back and forth. Everybody has their point of view, they will reply all, and everything has to be a reply all because everybody has to be in the loop. So in the best case it might be 30-40 email, in the worst case it might go past 100 as well. All pertaining to this topic, all having the attachments in duplicate maybe, all having multiple attachments sent by all these users. So can you imagine the amount of storage utilized by these email? It's huge across the users. So what happens? It's a hairball. Now the originator who started the whole thread, he's got his hands full figuring out which mail has got what information and how he should use that to finalize the document or the scope or respond to the vendor. Alright, it's a big challenge for the guy who originated it, and it's a lot of work. It's a huge drain on productivity. We are familiar with this view, but we just thought we will share this. So this is how the threads develop, and this is a very small thread though, and this can grow big time. So is there a better way? So we'll examine the same use case by using Ideolf and see how the teams are reviewing documents using Ideolf. This is something we use internally. A lot of our customers have picked it up, and RFC is a big use case, but in our company as well as in the customer companies, and especially in our company we have measured and found that by using Ideolf over the last 2.5 years, we have reduced our email consumption by 90%. So our email traffic in has actually reduced by 90%. So what's the method here? So the originator of the document, who's dealing with the vendor, will upload the email which is he's received from the vendor into Ideolf, which is a very simple procedure. He just forwards the email to upload@ideolf.com. Now this mail becomes a note with the attachments and all the all the stuff around it, and this user now logs into Ideolf and simply shares this note with the other 4 members or 5 members of the group or the team. Now each of the team members will also log into Ideolf, alright, and post their comments on the note, and they can continue to post comments back and forth. Everything is on the same note, everything is in a chronological order, and everything is below at the same point. Plus, if you need specific reviews from specific team members, you can actually tag them or call them out, so to say, using the @tag. So I can tag as saying @Ravi, I need your input for this particular section of the scope to be more carefully done, or whatever is your feedback. And so Ravi writes back on the comment, and this goes on. So all the back and forth has happened at a single point, and this is how it looks at the end of it. Now all the original author needs to do is look at all the comments, which I just scroll one below the other, and update the final scope document and respond to the vendor. And the beauty is that the vendor himself or themselves can be included into the note, so that they are also party to the whole conversation. That improves productivity even more. There is no need to send a mail to anybody at all. Okay, so this is how Ideol can be used vis-a-vis email. Benefits: no duplication, no emails being duplicated in each user's mailbox. There are no threads. There is no splintering of information. Okay, and everything is collated at one place. So before we go next, here's a quick overview of the Ideol app and its concepts, or so to say its elements. So everything starts with a note. A note is shared. Okay, a note is shared on mobile or other devices as well, because there's a mobile app here. The notes can be tagged to classify them. People post comments on it. People mention people to draw their attention to the comments or the notes. Each user receives notifications of whatever is happening. You can search for your notes and comments. Okay. This is available in a responsive form on all devices. It's also available as a web client. Okay, and it has an email connector. So what we are saying is, we are saying shift your way of thinking from sending messages to creating notes, to create documents, and instead of sending them all over the place, just invite people to that document space and let them put their comments and go. So this way everything stays at one place. I mean, that's the core idea of how. And so Ideol is not meant to replace email. Email will stay as a notification and a communication system always. In fact, Ideol notifications are sent via email only. However, using Ideol in combination with email improves the productivity of the the overall of not just the user but the team as well. So we are talking about Ideol as an add-on app. It's not a replacement. So we need to look at how I'm continuing to use my email for regular mail flow, and when I come across something which needs deeper and more intense collaboration, I move it to Ideol and then I start discussing there, because I don't want the threads and I don't want that back and forth and overuse of the email storage and the email flows. So okay, just a quick, before we head on to the Q&A, a quick view about us. We are all about delivering the collaboration advantage. As we've spoken about, we went from email and then we are on to Ideol right now. And our future roadmap is about a tighter integration between the two kinds of ways of working with documents. So these are some of our awards, some of our partners. This is our trust page, which indicates what all we comply with and what all certifications we have received. These are some of our customers. I will not dwell too much on this. So what we discussed was that there is a new version of SkyConnect, alright, which has got great features to enhance end user productivity. We spoke about a lot of those, including calendar and contacts and APIs and all. Then we spoke about how email is not a great tool for team collaboration or team efficiencies. And then where does Ideol fit in as a companion? So you use email as you are, and at the point of intense collaboration, wherever it is required, you migrate those mails to Ideol and continue working from there. It's more efficient, more productive, and very easy for you to collate all that information back into the main node for work. So this is what we kind of discussed in today's webinar. We've answered a few questions. I would urge you to look at our website and see if you can start using this. It's a free trial. In fact, if you are an existing customer of Mithi, you get the first year of Ideol totally free. So that's our offer to you. So with this, I thank you, for your time and for all the questions which were asked here, which are pretty good. We'll be putting this up. The recording will be coming to you. The questions will be put up on our website. So we thank you again. and we see you again at the next webinar. Thank you so much.